I came home after the longest week of my life and found 100 strangers splashing in my backyard pool. When I demanded answers, the HOA president sneered that she had reserved my pool for the community. She even called the cops on me, completely unaware I was the chief of police. By the end of the day, she lost her crown, her power, and her entire fake empire. Act the spark. My name's Marcus Reed. I'm 42, recently sworn in as the chief of police in my city, after years on the force, after nights chasing suspects down dark alleys, after losing good friends to the job. I wanted a quiet place to breathe. So I moved into Serenity Lane. It looked perfect. Gated community, quiet, streets, a backyard pool where I thought I could sit and finally unwind. But what I didn't realize was that Serenity Lane came with its own dictator, the HOA president, Karen Whitfield. Karen is the kind of woman who wears her pearls even when taking out the trash. Blonde bob cut, tailored blazers, and a voice that somehow carries over the sound of lawnmowers. She's the self-proclaimed protector of property values, which really meant she controlled every blade of grass, every shade of paint, every mailbox post. But I figured, fine, I'll keep my head down. I'd seen worse in the city. That illusion ended the night I came home from a city council meeting. It was late. I was tired. All I wanted was to sit by my pool with a cold drink. But instead, I walked into chaos. Music blasting, smoke from a barbecue, cars lined the street, parked halfway on my lawn, and in my backyard pool, dozens of people I had never seen before, splashing, yelling, drinking, tossing beer cans into the bushes. I just stood there for a second, stunned. Then I saw her, Karen, perched by my pool in a lawn chair like a queen on a throne, clipboard in hand, a whistle around her neck. When I confronted her, she didn't flinch. She looked me right in the eye and said, "Oh, Marcus, don't make a scene. I reserved the pool for the HOA's summer party. Didn't you get the memo?" "The memo?" I said. "This is my property." Karen smirked. "No, it's community property when we need it. Don't be difficult." That was my welcome to Serenity Lane. Act 2. Escalation and the breaking point. At first, I tried diplomacy. I told her firmly the pool was private, not the HOA's. She laughed in my face. Then she pointed at me in front of the crowd and shouted, "This man is trespassing at our community event." The irony, trespassing in my own yard. Her husband, a tall, bony man everyone called Slim, chimed in, accusing me of intimidating families. The guests started murmuring, looking at me like I was the problem. And then Karen pulled out her phone. "Fine," she said, "if you won't leave peacefully, I'll have the police handle you." She dialed 911. I stood there, in my own backyard, watching the president of the HOA call the cops on the chief of police. Now, here's where I'll be honest. For a moment, I wanted to walk away. Just let them have the night. Clean up later. Avoid the scene. I was new here, and already I was being painted as the bad guy. I thought, maybe this was a mistake. Maybe I should have never moved here. Maybe I don't belong anywhere, even in my own home. That feeling, it cut deep. Years in uniform, years serving the community, and here I was being humiliated in front of neighbors by a woman with a clipboard. But then I looked around. I saw my pool littered with beer cans, my lawn crushed under car tires, my space being violated while Karen barked orders. And I thought, no, not tonight. The squad car rolled up within minutes. 2 officers got out, young guys, still fresh-faced. They walked straight toward Karen. She immediately launched into her performance. "Officer, thank God you're here." This man barged in and tried to shut down our HOA event. He was yelling, threatening people. "You need to remove him immediately." The officers turned to me. "Sir, can we see some ID?" I reached slowly into my wallet, keeping my face calm, my voice steady, and then I handed them my badge. Their eyes widened. The silence that followed, absolutely delicious. One officer cleared his throat. Chief Reed." "Sir, we didn't realize." Karen blinked. "Chief? What chief? What are you talking about?" I looked her dead in the eye. "Chief of police. This is my property. And you just called in a false report on me." The crowd shifted. Murmurs rose. Some neighbors gasped. Some smirked. Some finally realized they weren't at a community event. They were in the middle of a crime. And just like that, the balance shifted. Act 3. The climax. Karen tried to recover. Of course, she shouted about abuse of power, claimed I was intimidating her, threatened lawsuits. But her voice cracked now. The confidence was gone. I turned to the officers. Document everything. Trespassing. Property damage. False police report. They nodded, already writing. That's when neighbors began to speak up. A woman named Sarah stepped forward. She fined me $200 because my trash can lid wasn't closed. Another man added, she banned my kid from riding his bike on the sidewalk. And then more voices piled on, story after story of her bullying, her extortion, her fake citations. Karen's empire of fear crumbled in real time. Within the hour, the party cleared out. Cars pulled away. The music died. The only sound left was the pen scratching on the incident report. But I wasn't done. Over the next week, I gathered evidence. Bank records showing Karen and Slim funneling HOA dues into a shell company, Serenity Services, LLC. Documents proving they'd been charging residents for maintenance that never happened. And invoices showing she'd literally billed the HOA to rent out my pool. At the next HOA meeting, I walked in with a stack of files. Karen sat at the head of the table, chin high, trying to act unbothered. I started reading, line by line, transaction by transaction. The room went silent. Then came the gasps. The outrage. Board members demanded an audit. Residents demanded her resignation. Karen slammed her gavel so hard, the head cracked off. This is harassment, she screamed. But nobody believed her anymore. That night, the board voted to suspend her presidency. A formal investigation was opened, and for the first time since I moved to Serenity Lane, the community felt free. Closing line. Power built on lies always collapses when truth finally stands tall.